everyone, it's Alyssa and this is Always Cinema Chic, the place that encourages you to go out, get dressed up, and watch a movie. So today I am reviewing Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and that stars Frances McDormand, Woody Harrelson, and Sam Rockwell, and it's written and directed by Martin McDonagh, and this is a phenomenal movie. This is one of the best movies that I've seen all year. It's definitely making my top 10 list, and I knew it got really good reviews, but watching the trailer, I thought it looked good, but I wasn't sure, how much I was going to love it. And then once I was in that theater, right from go, this was just such a well-written movie. So it's about a mother, played by Frances McDormand, whose daughter died 7 months ago, and the police still hasn't found her killer. So she's basically poking the bear, and she rents out 3 billboards that basically antagonize the police, saying, "Why haven't you found my daughter's killer yet?" And what surprised me most is that the movie is really not just about that story. It's not a singular story. It's a few storylines coming together that actually leads us to a film that has a deeper meaning than what I thought it was going to have. And all the while, it is just so funny and violent. And, when I saw the trailer, I wasn't quite sure if it was going to have that exact same edge that a lot of Martin McDonagh movies and plays have. So I wasn't sure if it would have some of those shocking moments, but you can rest assured that there are plenty of shocking moments in this movie. And the film really uses a wry sense of humor, but it makes commentary on rather meaningful issues that are going on right now in our world. Now I have to start with Martin McDonagh, who really and truly, he's my favorite working playwright right now. I've read a few of his plays, and I've also gone to see The Pillow Man. I saw that about 10 years ago or so, and that was starring Billy Crudup and Jeff Goldblum. And when I saw that play, it just blew me away, because there is nobody who does dark comedy in quite the same way that McDonagh does. And that sense of humor and that style, it just translates so well into this film, because in Three Billboards we still have this conglomeration of real violence, there's sardonic humor, but you also get these characters who are they're not one-dimensional at all. And even though they are from a small town, and you could easily go for these kind of hyperbolic stereotypes and not flesh out the characters, that is just not the case here. This is so well written and just so well crafted, every last moment. And he really understands pacing, and he knows how to shock the audience and just do something that is totally unexpected in the moment. So, you'll be watching the movie, and then out of nowhere, you'll just see something that seemingly comes from left field, but it actually makes sense to the storyline. And while he is definitely no stranger to shocking the audience while simultaneously making you laugh hysterically, because he did write In Bruges and Seven Psychopaths, this film is just elevated above his 2 previous films, because he really is achieving a higher purpose. I loved him before, but after seeing this movie, I really feel like he is emerging as one of the greats, and he's taking his writing and he's really crafting it that in a way that shows such maturity. You can tell that he's a veteran writer, and there are just the tiniest details in this movie that make all of the difference. So for instance, at the end, and I promise no spoilers at all, but at the end you get this one detail that you didn't realize for the whole of the movie, and it's very small, and it doesn't necessarily change the plot, but it does change your perspective of Mildred and what she was going through and what she was looking at every day. So it really it's small details like that that show you that this person is a master craftsman. And what I love about his stories, and I remember this also from The Pillow Man as well, is you're often very aware that you're watching a story. There are such huge coincidences that happen within the story, so it almost makes it obvious that you are watching a movie. But then at the same time, the story doesn't go in the direction that you think that coincidence is going to take you, and that brings you right back down to a sense of realism. So he has this great balance of art and realism with the characters, and there really is no small part that's not fully fleshed out in this story. Every character, except for maybe two, which I'll talk about in a second, is just so fleshed out. John Hawkes plays Frances McDormand's ex-husband, and it's only 2 scenes, but I felt like, oh my God, I know this guy and I understand him completely. But that brings me to Frances McDormand, who she knocked it out of the park. All of the performances are incredible, but Frances McDormand is definitely the standout here. She is like a force of nature, and as I was watching it, I just kept thinking to myself, there is no other actress who could actually play this role. And then I saw an interview with her and I found out, oh my God, this role actually was written for her specifically. So McDonagh wrote it with her in mind, and you can definitely tell as you're watching it. She has to be tough, acerbically funny, and a little bit scared. Her presence just dominates the film, and it will be a crime if she is not nominated for Best Actress. And I will also say that Woody Harrelson just gives the performance of his career. I've never seen him in True Detective, so I can't really speak to that. But him playing Chief Willoughby in this film, it was a side of him that I've never quite seen before. He had such maturity and certainty in his acting, and once again, the character has such a biting sense of humor, and he really understood how to deliver those lines. I felt like he was inside Martin McDonagh's head, and he knew exactly the way he wanted him to speak. And I've never really seen that from Woody Harrelson before. I love him. He's a great actor. He's supernatural. He's really funny, but it was just a very mature character for him, and I loved seeing him in it. And once again, he was one of those characters that was just instantly recognizable to me. I felt like I understood him very easily. I knew what kind of a guy he was. I knew his background, and I felt like there were just so many layers to the character right off the bat. Now, the same cannot be said of Sam Rockwell's character. So he plays Dixon, who is a kind of bumbling cop in the movie who's, sort of racist and doesn't seem to have a lot going on upstairs, but I was really confused. I didn't understand the character. I felt like he was very one-dimensional, and I wasn't sure why such a great actor like Sam Rockwell would take a character like that. But boy, was I wrong, because about 2/3 of the way into the movie, I realized, oh, that's why he took this role. That's why he's playing this character. I should have known, I should have realized. He's been in, so many movies for Martin McDonagh. He's been in plays for Martin McDonagh. So, I should have known that he would have written him a really great character, but he was another one who just completely amazed me. So Dixon is a man whose seemingly sole reason for being a cop is so that he can get away with being a bully and a drunk. I saw the movie yesterday, and I just can't stop thinking about his character. He's just an incredibly written character, but Sam Rockwell really brings him to life and has such funny touches. Even, oh my God, the haircut that he has in the movie, that was a little bit painful to watch, but it was such a great detail with that character. And that is just true of him as an actor. I feel like Sam Rockwell is one of those actors who's just really underappreciated. I feel like he can do anything. I'm thinking of like his performance in Moon. He's just such a versatile actor, and I don't think that he gets the credit that he deserves, and I hope that he gets credit for this film, because he definitely deserves it here as well. And you know what's so incredible is that Martin McDonagh, he wrote a film where the characters are just so well written and so well fleshed out, but it's the actors that are really making these characters iconic, and they certainly succeeded. Now, I will say that maybe there were a couple of missteps for me, that it wasn't exactly perfect. I really found Abby Cornish's role very strange. She plays Willoughby's wife, and I didn't feel like she fit into the tone of the movie. And every time I saw her, I just felt like, oh, you don't necessarily belong in this world that I'm watching right now. I also felt that Mildred's son, Robbie, he's a good character. He's in it a lot in the beginning, and then you start to lose him, and you don't really know what's going on with that character. So I felt like we were left hanging with him a little bit, you know, but these are really just very small missteps, and overall this is definitely one of the best movies of the year. And I think that, you know, you should really try to make the effort to go out and see this in the cinema. It's not necessarily, you know, a very cinematic movie, but the storyline is just brilliant, and it really deserves more recognition and hype than what I think it's getting right now. And now for the grades. So, in terms of film and artistry, which is how well it's written, the acting, the directing, I would give Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri an A. The acting is just top-notch, superb. I will be shocked if there are not nominations for the acting. The screenwriting, oh my God, Martin McDonagh just did a phenomenal job writing this. It's so well written. I will be so angry if he doesn't get a nomination for the writing here. Even the music choices that he has throughout, they're just really relevant. It really fit the scene, fit the tone. You know, he's not quite a master director. I wouldn't say that yet. He's definitely a master writer, but he's getting there. And with each movie, you can just see more and more stylistic techniques that he's implementing, and he will be a great director. I am certain of it. And in terms of watchability, which is how much I enjoyed the movie, I would give Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri an A+. This was something that had me so engrossed. I was laughing throughout, and I was definitely not the only one. The theater was going crazy. There were just audible gasps and just sounds of shock and surprise throughout the movie. And I think the last time I experienced that was when I saw Atonement, with that like one scene where people were gasping. So, but this was like consistent throughout the whole movie, where people were just making noises and kind of shocked by what they were seeing. It was so engaging. I'm definitely going to watch this movie a few times. And once again, it has that deeper message about the world that we're living in, and sometimes you might think, well, it's a basic message, I don't want to give it away, obviously, but it's so important, and it's so important in this world that we're living in right now, and it's just such a timely film, and I think it deserves even more buzz than what it's getting right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching these reviews. If you saw the movie, please leave a comment below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't. And remember, it is always in fashion to go out, get dressed up, and make it a cinema chic night. Bye everyone.